Well, welcome back to another video, folks. I hope you're all doing well. This will be my review for The Last of Us Part 2. And I've debated long and hard with myself on what I want to say in this review. Do I go into the controversies that led up to this game's release? Do I go into the controversies that are surrounding this game's release after it's come out? I think I'm probably going to do just that. I'm going to talk about everything. Controversy, prior and post-release. And it's a lot. First off, you have to ask yourself the question, are you allowed to like this game? Are you allowed to have a positive opinion on The Last of Us 2? Because it seems that if you do, you must be some kind of cuck, soy boy, pussy fart type deal, and if you don't, you're some kind of homophobic bigot that can't stand to see a woman and a gay woman in the lead of a video game. What this has to do with the actual game itself and the story, nothing at all. But this is the world we live in now, where opinions can be a social death sentence, if you will. Maybe a wee bit extreme in that, but they can see you ostracised from maybe a group of friends if you don't quite line up in an ideological sense, but that's just insanity. There's no way you're going to agree on everything with everybody. So what? You like something that somebody else doesn't make you evil, or a bigot, or a homophobe, or this or that, the next thing. I do realise there's caveats and exceptions to that. Like, if you don't like The Last of Us 2 just because Ellie's gay, you might want to take a wee look at yourself and think, what's the actual problem? Have you got a problem with it maybe being an agenda being driven, or do you just have a problem with gay folk being in charge, or in a lead, or whatever? And that can go for anything, a black protagonist, a white protagonist, whatever. You're going to get hate and racist remarks no matter which group of people you go to, because someone's always going to hate the fact that somebody else that doesn't represent them is in charge. Now, I know representation is important to some people, really not that important to me. All I ask is that the game is written well, the characters are well realised, and I know something about their motivations and why they're doing what they're doing. I don't care about their sexual orientation, I don't care if they're black, white, man, woman, don't care. It's not important when it comes to a fictional setting anyway. There may be some historical, things out there that it will be important in that context, but The Last of Us 2 isn't a historical game. It's piece fiction set in a post-apocalyptic world with mushroom zombies, so let's try and get a wee bit of perspective. And so I've been fighting with myself whether I'm allowed to like this game or not, so I'm going to take 5 minutes now, and I'm going to go down to my local SJW council, and I'm then going to go to my local anti-SJW council, and ironically enough, they're right across the street from each other, so I need to see how much I can like it and how much I can dislike it. I'll see what I'm allowed to like and what I'm not allowed to like, I'm just fucking around here, guys. I'm having a wee bit of a laugh, because I think we need that, and I'm finding Twitter quite a lot these days. It's like, Jesus, people need to just relax. If you don't like something, fine, just don't buy it, don't support it. It's the best way you can voice your grievances with anyone, is just don't give them the money. If you're going to give them the money, then say, I hate this, blah, blah, blah. You're like, well, you've already given them your cash. I wouldn't give a shit if you went and bought something of mine. Like, I wrote a book and you went and bought it, and then you came up roaring up to me and said, fucking hate this, buy the biggest load of piss under the sun. And then I'll ask, well, did you buy it? And you're like, aye. Well, thanks for the money, and walk off. See, at that point, not interested. Especially if you're going to be a prick about it. If you're going to sit there and say, well, look, Craigs, I've read your book and I have a few issues. Would you mind having a civilised discussion? Yes, why not? We'll see what we can do. Doesn't mean I'm going to change anything, because ultimately, if you're going to create something, I create it for myself, then everybody else second. So as long as I'm happy with it, that's the way it is. And I can't help but feel this is a Star Wars situation, where it's not exactly what I wanted from the sequels, therefore it's bad. The writing isn't the greatest, fair enough, but I can't help but feel this is what's in people's minds. It's not exactly what I wanted. I wanted X, Y, and Z. I did not get X, Y, and Z, therefore X product is terrible, it's trash, it's nonsense, it should burn in hell, and it's... Jesus, guys. If you want something that badly to be in a certain way, go and write something, go and create something, go and do something. Peace. Now, when The Last of Us 2 leaks dropped, I first went, okay, I ignored them for the most part. Then I just kept hearing negative upon negative upon negative, and I thought, look, my curiosity is getting the better of me here. What the fuck are they all upset about? And I read them and, oh, aye, well, yeah, geez, that's not the best, is it? Then I'm like, fucking hell, I'm like, oh, geez, aye, and it's like, I was unsure if I thought, am I going to cancel this or no, I don't know. I thought, do you know what, no, don't cancel it yet, see what you think. I think the best way to form an opinion about it is to experience it for yourself. So I did that, and I've played it a great deal. I'm really enjoying it. Spoilers. Don't worry, I'm not going to ribbit on too much about this. I just wanted to get this off my chest because it's pissing me off. Look, I didn't return to the world of The Last of Us for its great writing. Look, the story in the first game is basic. It's not saying it's bad, it's just basic. It's like Joel, smuggler, smuggles Ellie out of a quarantine zone to take her across country for a possible cure. That's your story. It's as basic as it can get. But what drew people into the world of The Last of Us is the characters, is the atmosphere, is the zombies, the undead, the tension you get from some of these gameplay moments. And that's all back in The Last of Us 2, so I'm having a hard time, other than the writing, seeing what's really wrong with this game. And again, I don't think the writing's absolutely terrible, I just think it's a bit in the basic side, and it's a bit convenient at moments. But it's a vehicle for the journey, and unless it's like a fucking beat down car that's full of holes and you're getting wet because the sunroof is stuck open or some shit like that, fair enough. But right now I'm just chilling in a nice comfortable motor with heated seats, and I'm quite enjoying it. So fucking hell. Right, I think I'm going to stop this here, and I think we'll get on with the review. This has been one hell of an intro, by the way, so I appreciate you sticking through it if you have. Right, let's get on with the damn review now, eh?
If I ever were to lose you, I'd surely lose myself.
As I begin the review portion of this video, I am going to offer the warning that there are spoilers ahead. I will be talking about the game in depth with massive story spoilers, okay? This will be your first and only warning. So the game begins with a nice wee flashback to the first game to let you know that Joel and his brother have been discussing what went down with the Fireflies and the cure and what happened to Ellie, and it paints Joel in less than an endearing light. Even his brother's like, look, I wouldn't have done any different, but fucking hell, mate, you went nuts on those guys. And then you get a beautiful, serene ride back to Jackson, which is the home base. It's quite a big home base. It's got massive walls. I mean, I remember the last time we saw Tommy was living in what was it, a dam, a hydroelectric dam. So like that's really expanded since then, which is pretty cool. And you get to have a wee walk around this town, just a wee walk. You get to pet a Doug, which is a highlight for me. And then a couple of things happen, and Ellie wants to get on with the mission at hand, but she's been told by the leader of the town that she needs to speak to this guy called Seth. Don't know what that was all about, but you go and have a word with this guy in a pub and a bar, and there's something quite cringeworthy happens here. I mean, she's like, I don't want to talk to that bigot. I think I can probably guess what happened. He's like, oh, I'm sorry about last night, hen, right? I've been fucking drinking and that. No, he probably didn't like the fact that she was gay, and you're like, well, see, when you're in a post-apocalyptic environment like that, pal, you've got me to worry you, do you know what I mean? And then he hands her some sandwiches, and she's like, I don't want these sandwiches, but the wee town leader woman's like, here, take these fucking sandwiches and fucking like it, you wee cow. Seth says to her, it's steak sandwiches, they're fucking gorgeous, made them myself this morning with my own bare hands. And then Jesse stoats up to her and he's like, what's happening, what's that you've got? And she's like, bigot sandwiches. And I'm like, oh fucking Christ.
Bigot sandwiches.
Smells good.
Luckily there's not been really anything since then in the game. I'm about 15 to 20 hours deep. Oh, deep. So obviously the worry for the wider gaming community is, are Naughty Dog going to go full SJW in the future? Maybe. You never do know, never can tell, but I'm not going to lose my sleep over it, that's for damn sure. I was also led to believe that this game had like no moments of hope or joy or anything like that, which isn't true. It is a very bleak game, and we'll get into that later. But near the start of the game, it's winter time. You're ready to go out on a mission with your horse. Jesse's like, "Mon, get Dina to shift her arse," and you're like, "Oh, Dina, I want to talk to you. Mon, get your arse in gear. We've got a job to do and that. No." And they're talking, and one of the Waynes scalps Ellie with a snowball. She's like, "Look, I'm not even playing this game, you wee dick." So Dina gets you to get involved in a wee snowball fight, and it's actually quite good fun. Straight out the ballpark, and already we've got a wee moment of joy or fun, I suppose you could say. And there are other wee moments like that throughout the game, but they are few and far between. But do you know what? It's just a nice wee bit of wee speck of light in the future, no? In this grim, dark, rainy, very rainy game. Then it cuts to a chalet or some kind of house in the woods, covered in snow, and there's a wee fire going, and there's people in there sleeping. I don't recognise any of these people. Turns out it's Abby and her crew. She wakes up for a nightmare. You take control of her. I was like, oh, we're going Abby already. We're only about a half hour into the game, really, at this point. Not shot anything, not killed nothing. Had a snowball fight, and then we're playing as a bad guy. Now, I understand why Naughty Dog went this route, why they actually have you playing as the other side. It's just a better way of building up motivations, and you can see what they're going through as well, because there are no good guys in this world, right? I always remember a nice fancy line for Dawn of the Dead. This is the original Dawn of the Dead, mind. And they're in the helicopter, and they're cutting about, and they're like, "Oh, we shouldn't have too much trouble here and there." And Peter's like, "What do you think we are? I think we're up here taking traffic reports. We're thieves and we're bad guys. That's who we are. That's exactly what we are." And everybody is a bad guy in this world, because everyone is trying to outlive the next person, and the next one after that, and the next encounter after that. So the notion of good guys and bad guys doesn't exist in this world. And I feel maybe they could have pushed that a bit further in the first game. But when you see what Joel does and how many people he fucking kills, right? You know what I mean? He's not a good guy. And even at the point where you get to the city and you're getting chased with a Humvee after the hunters, and Ellie's like, "Oh, fuck's sake, this is brutal. You just doing things to survive." And Joel's like, "Well, I was on both sides at one point." So he was a hunter. He was one of the people that would hunt folk down, butcher them, and take their stuff. Joel's not a good guy. He's likeable, but he's a prick.
Remember, I don't want to have to shoot you in the face. Oh, that's so sweet.
And as you're playing as Abby, you'll get introduced to the mechanics of the game. So you'll find out you've got a dodge function now, which is bloody handy. Doesn't always work the way I wanted it to, or even if I pressed a button on time, sometimes I still get scalped in the face with an axe. That's just sometimes the way the cookie crumbles, baby! You've also got a new jump mechanic to, well, jump, but it looks really stupid when you do it, so I do it sparingly or when I really have to. But then again, I was thinking about this the other day, how often in life do I actually jump? Aye, exactly. So don't sweat it. It does look stupid, but it looks stupid in Red Dead as well, okay? So you're on patrol with Ellie and Dina, and you come across infected whatnot, and it's fucking snowing like fuck, so you end up taking refuge in this supermarket full of weed. Aye, that's a pretty good deal if you ask me. And then they get down to business. And then you go back to playing as Abby, and then you're getting chased like fuck off a horde of these infected pricks. This bit's brilliant. This is a chase sequence, right? There are a few in this. Sometimes you're running away from things, sometimes you're chasing things. Remember the wee chase sequence in the first game when you're chasing Robert at the start? It's like that, only much bigger, much better. A lot better actually, now that I come to think about it. So you're fucking running about like a nutter, and you're trying to avoid these zombies, and you're fucking jumping, and you're fucking climbing shit. And then you get caught in a fence, and who saves you? Joel and fucking Tommy do. And I was like, Jesus Christ. She was looking for them too. Now, here's the stupidity of the situation, right? This could have happened to anybody. So Joel ends up saving Abby and pulling her arse cheeks right out of the fire. Of course, Abby's only got a name, doesn't know what Joel looks like, so they're running about killing these zombies, and eventually they get to a bit where they can get a wee bit of peace and quiet, and Tommy's like, "Alright, how you doing hen? My name's Tommy and that's my brother Joel," and she's like, "Oh aye, fucking bingo, spot on, I must have won the bastard lottery in a previous life." And then she pipes up that they can go to this house that her friends are at and it'll be safe and yada yada yada. Now, Joel being the monumental tit that he is, he's been going through this world for like 30 years nearly, right? Butchering cunts, fucking people over, never once thinks to change his name. Because Abby doesn't know what Joel looks like. He could have said, "My name's Glenn Pillar." and that would have been the end of the story. I suppose that would have been the end of the story, but nevertheless, change your bloody name. If you're going to butcher hospitals and fucking warehouses and just town full of folk, don't go around with the same name. Alright, I'm Joel. Murdered yous all. What's your name? That's Joel. Well, did you murder that town up there? Aye. Oh well, good. Smack. Stupid bastard. Now, and here we come to one of the harder bits of the game to bear. Not because of how he goes out. I actually think he probably deserves his fate. I'm talking about Joel here, okay? Listen, people think of Joel as this fucking big hero type cat. Oh, he's cool, we like him, he's likeable. But everything that he does, for pretty much the minute his daughter dies in the first game, from there on out, right to the end of The Last of Us, right up to the point of his death, he does for almost entirely selfish reasons. Doesn't want Ellie. Says we'll need to get rid of her as quickly as we can. We're going to go to the Capitol building, dump her and fucking get out of there. Then Tess gets blootered. Then he's like, well fuck, we're gonna do now, we're gonna take her back. And mate, he's just a fucking wanker now that I think about it, and I'm like, Jesus, it's horrible, but it's everything he does. Selfish. Self. Can't even tell her the truth at the end of the first game about why she's still kicking and what's going on and why all of a sudden they're not at that hospital, and it takes like fucking years for her to finally find out the truth. So I would have liked Joel to go out in a more heroic sense, but for what the character didn't deserve it. There you go, said it. Don't care if you don't like it. Them's the breaks, people. You're going to act like a prick your whole life, do very, very little to redeem yourself. You're going to go out like a bitch, because you acted like one.
You stupid old man. You don't get to rush this.
So it's a very somber moment after that particular death of a character, a beloved character. But just think about what I said. Think about it. Don't react. Think. Then you get a wee bit where Ellie lays some flowers at his grave and you get to go around his house and just see how he was living at the time. And he was retired, he was getting an old man, must have been, what, late 50s, early 60s by the time he died. I'm just guessing, I don't really know his date of birth. So. And it's just a nice slow moment after such a horrific event. So Dina and Ellie make way for Seattle. Now the people that killed Joel all had patches saying Washington Liberation Front on them. You know, what is it with people fucking signalling in this world where they're from and who they are? And they're fucking folk over left and right. Joel uses his same name that he's used since the day he was fucking kicking and screaming into the world, and these pricks fucking just advertise where they're from. I mean, come on. I know that if they didn't do that, there wouldn't really be a game, or at least they'd need to really restructure the story, because how would you find them? America's a fucking big place, and if you don't know where someone's from, you don't know what way they've went, you're never finding them, so the game would be it would stop the minute it started. But it's just like, that's just really fucking stupid. And when you get to Seattle, the game opens up quite a bit more, and it only opens up for a certain section of Seattle, which does make sense because you know where they are in a broadscape of things, but you don't know exactly where they are, so you need to search around. You need to search around for fuel to open a gate. You read journals and you eventually pinpoint their location. Not before you go through various shops and you go to a bank, and I found a shotgun in the bank, and you go through the council building and it's full of clickers and fucking infected. It's just really scary shit. It's brilliant. I do love it. And when you get to Seattle, this is when you'll notice just how good the game looks. Now, I would argue that The Last of Us 2 looks better than any of the big reveal games at the PS5 gameplay reveal event a few weeks ago, which is quite funny. And they'll be like, oh, what about Horizon 2? I said, well, Horizon 2 was a CG trailer, that's not how the game's going to look. So yes, this game looks phenomenal. I want no arguments on that, right? Also comes with a photo mode. I was really happy. The last game did, it was very basic. This one's a bit better, it's not the best, but it's still nice that it's there. And I started taking photos the minute I hit Seattle. It's like, oh, look at that, that building looks amazing. Off goes my digital camera, and then I upload them to Twitter for all the world to see, trying to miss spoilers, but I think we all knew the game was set in Seattle, so it's been used in the trailers. I'm using it as a way of taking my photographs. I highly recommend you explore downtown Seattle because you're going to see some sights. It's just fucking amazing the amount of work that's went into this. Astonishing. So this is primarily where the game is set, is in Seattle, because you then need to look at certain places and you go about. Now at this point the writing gets a bit squiffly, or it's either that or you just really know the motivations of the characters and the way they're judging things becomes more clear. Dina finds out she's pregnant and Ellie's like, fuck's sake, you're pregnant. Dina's like, look, I didn't know, right? I was suspicious, but I didn't actually know. There's no fucking maternity hospital to go visit or go to a doctor and fucking get a maternity test. Do you know what I mean? And Ellie's like, well, fuck. Dina's like, I didn't want to be a burden, but Ellie's like, fucking you're now, ain't you? Or like, oh, you fucking wee cow, man. I'd have fucking slapped you there. And I almost get the impression that Ellie's jealous of Jesse and Dina, where they two were together and then they split up and blah, blah. You get that impression because he just turns really bitchy. You know, like, fuck's sake, because they two can't have a kid together. Genetics, biology, all that shit. And then it's from this point onward that Ellie starts to get a lot more fucking stupid in her judgments. Her judgment really starts to get clouded over by revenge because you now need to go out on her own because Dina's too sick to travel. And yeah, she just makes a few mistakes. Ends up getting a few firefights and butchers like a whole town worth of people. But Ellie sets out on her own to hunt down Abby and just basically kills a whole bunch of people. And this is where you'll start finding new enemy types and new enemy factions. You'll run into the Seraphites, who are the religious cult that like to hang people up and then gut them. Lovely. Very friendly people. I mean, they put on an amazing show. And you'll run into a new infected type called the Shambler, and it'll squirt fucking acidic spores at you. Now Ellie is immune to normal spores, but these ones do burn her skin. It is fucking horrific when you get caught in a cloud and die, because you just see all the skin in Ellie's fucking arms cooking. You're like, you bastard. It's fucking horrible, and I died a few times to these pricks, but I Molotov them and I just snipe them from a distance with the rifle as long as the level allows, you know. And even though the game does go into a more linear fashion at this point, there's still a lot to explore. There's still a lot of buildings running about. Like if you come across a building and all the doors are shut but they've got big pane glass windows, put a brick through the window, you're in. Love that shit. Quite honestly, downtown Seattle reminds me of I Am Legend, the bit where Will Smith's going about in his motor fucking chasing the deer and he comes across the lines. That movie was good. And this is, I can see the influences of a few films like The Road and that, to name but 2 films. You get to do your crafting and all that shiza, and you'll get banter between the characters, which can be quite fun. But the game is very bleak. I mean, it's no a fucking pleasure ride. This is a heavy game. Even when you're in combat situations, you're throwing grenades and Molotovs. I mean, listen to people burn to death in this game. I'm not kidding. I think I'm going to have PTSD by the time I've fucking finished. There's a bit where I'm going after somebody's boat, and there's this woman, and I don't know if she misthrows her own grenade or somebody throws it and just fucks up the throw, blows her leg off, and you just hear her fucking rolling about the floor screaming and crying, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm horrified. I'm like, this isn't fun. But it is, but it's sometimes it'll just hit you, and I've killed dozens of folk up to this point and never batted an eyelid, but for some reason the screaming and the crying and the shouting out of the names it was maybe a little bit too real. But AI teammates aren't exactly useless either. I've been saved a couple of times. Another thing about the killing of things, right, you have to fight dogs eventually, and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to shoot the dogs. I don't want to have to shoot a dog's face off, but I did it, and I've done it about 8 or 9 times now, and I'm like, poor dogs, but at least somebody's not going hungry tonight while these carcasses lying about. That was a bit dark, Craggy boy, what the fuck, mate, Jesus. So as I say, I'm about 10 to 15 hours deep. I actually think it's more than that now. I haven't quite finished the game, but I can pretty much see where it's going tone-wise from here on out. I've got a good idea of what the ending's going to be. I don't know, obviously, but I've got my own ideas. And I'll leave you to percolate on that as well. And I think with how realistic the killing can be, there's probably a moral argument to be made about the human race as a whole. So we just have to butcher each other, and you're like, maybe that's time for us to, you know, put down the... I'm going to get philosophical here and soft, right? Put down your fucking guns and talk. I wish I could do that in this game, but the game doesn't allow that. The minute you're spotted by the enemy faction, you are instantly considered hostile and must be butchered. So as much as blowing people to bits can be a bit shaky, you're left with no choice. You have to. And when you start butchering them, they want revenge, and it's a never-ending cycle of shit. And as for the game not being upbeat enough, there is plenty of moments in this game where you'll feel a bit more hopeful, and that's in the flashback sections with Joel and Ellie. When it goes back, it'll go back 4 years or 2 years or 3 years or what, and you'll do different things. You'll go to like a natural history museum, and you'll see all the dinosaurs, and you can pick up hats and put them on, and it's just moments of pure levity. You need it. This game is hard hitting. Christ, I thought Fallout 3 was dark, depressed and bleak until I played this fucker. This has got Fallout 3 beat in every conceivable way. It's just... oh, I love it though. I mean, I can just like fucking, you can swim in that atmosphere, you can swim in it, you can fucking bathe in it, you can sunbathe in it. Well, maybe no sunbathe, but you know what I mean. It's palpable and it's thick like porridge. So the conclusion is, no, I haven't played the whole game, okay? I played 90% of it. I'm probably a few hours out from finishing it, and I am going to beast it over the next few days. Hopefully the ending won't totally change what I think about the game, but I doubt it. I doubt it now. I know what the tone is. I know what they're going for. This game is about hate or cycles of revenge being futile, and they are. Eventually you just butcher each other, and then there's nothing left but blood and sand and dust and shit. So, I love it. I think if you've played The Last of Us, loved The Last of Us, you're going to like this. I don't know how much. Usually sequels don't land the same with me. This one has, thankfully. If you've never played The Last of Us before, pick up the first game. Don't come to this one first, even though it's got the recap at the start. I don't recommend playing a sequel before the one that came before it. It's not even a prequel. It's not structured in that way. So, yeah, I love it, and thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble on. Adios.